Time for class, chat. Are y'all excited to learn something? Well, we're not really going to be learning something. We're going to be taking a test. Okay, so chat, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this on the screen for us. We're going to go over to the other side. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So chat, have you ever heard of the RADS test? I'm pretty well convinced that I'm autistic, but why take my word for it? Why take my word for it? So we're going to put this over here on this side of the screen, and I want to take this test. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't want to. I want that off of my screen, please. Yeah, I want to zap it. Aha, it's gone. I had to use the Harkness test. Haven't heard of a Harkness test. I want to take this one, and I guess we could look up the Harkness test after that. So if anyone wants a link to the test to take it alongside me, I wonder what chat thinks of me. If any of you want to take the test, and well, what's the Harkness test if it's not for autism? Harkness test. The Harkness test is just to say that it is morally / ethically fine for someone to want to Scooby-Doo. What the All right, not getting that out of my head ever. I am all kinds of stopped up today, chat. I need to go to the doctor tomorrow, if nothing else. Get some kind of medicine to clear up my sinuses. I've had this problem forever. I've always been like some degree of stuffed up. Like I have never been able to breathe through both nostrils, and it is just insane. But anyway, we're gonna take this test now. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it just a smidge bigger on my screen. There we go. I have been told that I am autistic. My mom clocked me with Asperger's when I was like 5, and I finally figured it out when I was 30. When I was a kid, my dad didn't want everyone to see me as different. Oh boy, did he mess up that one. I'm as different as you can get, and I couldn't care less who thinks otherwise. Who thinks bad about it? Don't care. My dad did not let me get tested for autism when I was young, which is when it should have happened, because now it is so incredibly hard to get tested as an adult, especially where I live. There's very few people in my entire state that are quote unquote qualified to administer said test. Have had it done one time, and they said maybe, but my psychiatrist and my general doctor would not sign off on the diagnosis. My therapist, on the other hand, was convinced, because guess which one of the three actually gets to know you? Ding, ding, ding. The therapist, the one whose job it is to get to know you and figure you out and try to help you through stuff. Ding, ding, ding. My therapist figured it out. That's my first therapist, by the way. My first therapist helped me figure out and understand that I am autistic and that I am transgender, and also helped me get through some really bad stuff in the past, but we're not going to go into that. Anyway, so we're going to take this test and see if they think I am autistic too. I am a sympathetic person. Chat, what do y'all think? Am I sympathetic? I think I am. I don't think I was as sympathetic when I was younger, but I do think I'm more sympathetic now. I'm going to go with a B. I think I was a bit of an when I was younger, but I like to attribute the differences between now and when I was young to puberty. I don't know. Even when I was young, like I would play a game with the intent of getting a save state for friends to be able to hop in and play that save state so that they could explore the world unlocked rather than have to progress through the game themselves. As silly of an idea as that was, my intent was to help them. So I guess I was sympathetic when I was younger. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be nice, but then, you know, the growing up environment kind of made that difficult. So I often use words and phrases from movies and television in conversations. Oh boy. Yeah, that one's kind of true. That one's just a little bit true. That's a lot of true. I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. Yes, I struggle with this one a lot. If I'm rude to someone, most of the time, I'm not going to realize that I'm being rude to someone, because in my head, I'm being nice to them, or trying to be nice to them at the very least. I might come across rude, and I may never know if they don't tell me. I've had this happen a lot of time. It's ruined friendships, as a matter of fact. So sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly, and I'm not aware of it. Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of true. I get a lot of what? Or a lot of shut up, you know? Okay, so I often don't know how to act in social situations. I feel called out. Why is every one of my answers true now and when I was young? I don't know. Like in On the internet, it's a little bit different. On the internet, it's a little bit different. I can act on the internet, but in real life, if I'm in a social situation, I'm usually standing behind somebody or in the back or in a corner, whatever the as far away from the center of attention as I can get. Being quiet is all. Okay, number 6. I can put myself in other people's shoes. No, I can't. That is so hard. I have so much trouble imagining that unless I have a similar experience to them. That makes it easier. Yo, Chad, am I cooked? Every one of these answers is the same answer. I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean, like you are the apple of my eye. What the f does that mean? Hold on, I'm gonna Google that. You are the apple of my eye. What the f does this mean? It means I have the tenderest affections for you. Yeah, okay, that don't make sense to me. I guess it's true that I have a hard time figuring out because I still don't get it. I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. I feel like this should be worded a little differently. I prefer to only talk to people. I only like to. Okay, never mind. My brain clicked. I only like to talk to people who share my special interests. I will talk to anyone, but it is true that I only like to talk to people that's... I'm cooked, chat. We have ads, so we're gonna wait 2 minutes to continue. God, I'm cooked. I'm answering the same thing every question. How does it help? Oh my God, chat, you're gonna make me have to censor chat when I turn this into a video. This test is long. Maya, calm down. I'm on 32. Are you answering for yourself or what you think of me? Out of curiosity. You know what? I'm not gonna censor chat. Chat's gonna hear all of the context anyway. I'm not cutting out any of my yapping. Answering for yourself. I am curious. You don't have to share. No pressure to share with me, but if you want to share your results with me, I am curious. 40 seconds. I should have ran ads during the start soon screen so that we would have not had ads for an hour. Oopsie. Maybe I should get one of those waiting for ads thingies to play at the top of my screen. Okay, the ad break is over. Welcome back, chat. I answered that last question as true now and when I was young. Now, I will talk to anybody, but I prefer to talk to people who share my special interests. This really should be worded like that, like I prefer. Anyway, I focus on details rather than the overall idea. Oh my God. Yep. Sometimes, very rarely, it's the overall idea, but in the vast majority, it's always like I focus on one thing. Like an example is whenever I'm speaking to someone in person, I'm always like looking in one spot. Like I'll find a doorknob and I'll stare at the doorknob while I talk to them, and they'll see me do this. They'll see me do this and they won't say anything. But I'm sitting there staring at the doorknob like I'm talking to the fucking doorknob, because like looking at the person and talking to them is so much harder than talking to a doorknob. It's like a doorknob has someone's voice and they're speaking back to me. It's so fucking weird. I guess that's not the point of this question, but yeah, whatever. That's probably going to be a later question, right? I always noticed how food feels in my mouth. Oh, yes. This is more important to me than how it tastes. That is the most true thing I have ever seen. An example is I don't like most green foods, most grassy foods. What do I mean by grassy? I'm talking like cabbage, celery, broccoli. Like it has to be really sweetened up, very flavored for me to get around the weird texture. Like my mom made some turnip greens like a week or two ago, and I did like the taste, but I could not stand the texture, so I couldn't eat it. It was so strange. It was so weird. I couldn't do it. I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time. Yeah, that's true. Not really for the or family part, but for the friends, because I'm hardly ever apart from my family as much as I'd like to be. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. Yeah, that's gotten me into trouble a lot. Both when I was a little kid, when I was a teenager, in my 20s, even in the past couple of years. Yep, that's an easy truth. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me. Not gonna lie, if it doesn't interest me, I don't want anything to do with it. Like when I find a game that I just don't vibe with, it's like it's really hard for me to pick it up again. Or like sports. When I was younger, I couldn't play sports because I had a surgery on my neck when I was 7. So I couldn't play sports for risk of death. If I played football and I got tackled there was a really good chance that it would break my neck. Much better of a chance than most people. And there was a really good chance that that would kill me. So me being unable to participate, I lost interest in it, and I hardly ever had anything to do with sports again, save for like volleyball and, well, that's it, just volleyball. I love to play volleyball. Volleyball is a lot of fun, but I mean, you're kind of spread out in volleyball, so it's a bit safer than like football or basketball or baseball, etc. Anyway, I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. I've done this actually quite a bit. There's 80 questions. Holy shit, that's a lot. Yeah, well, look at where my scroll bar is at. It's way up here and I'm at 14. God damn. I have actually done this a bunch. Like a lot of times when I go to town on my own and I'm hungry, I don't like going through a drive-through. I hate drive-throughs because I can't hardly hear the other person. They're always muffled. I'd rather go in and talk to them in person or order on my phone, which is a great thing nowadays. But before ordering on your phone was a thing, I would usually go in and just order, then sit and eat in the restaurant by myself. Most of my going outs have been by myself. That is absolutely true. I mean, you couldn't really go out to eat in a restaurant by yourself when you were young. That wasn't really an option, but if it was an option, it would be true. It's too weird to you. I completely get that. Let's see, I cannot imagine what it would be like to be someone else. Now, if I'm similar to this person, we have shared interests, it's easier to do this. If not, I can't. This is one of those questions, it's like less black and white and more gray. Like sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. In most cases, I can't. It is absolutely not never true. It was a little different when I was younger. I never cared about this because it never crossed my mind. But if it had crossed my mind when I was younger, I mean, yeah, it would have been harder because I didn't understand anyone. Everyone seemed like mythical creatures when I was young. So yeah, I guess I should mark this as true. I've been told that I am clumsy or uncoordinated. Yes and no. I am clumsy and uncoordinated, except when I'm using my fingers. Now that does not mean I have steady hands. I absolutely do not have steady hands. I cannot hold something in the same position and like build things with my hands. I like do woodworking, none of that. I can't do that. But I can play guitar. I can type on a keyboard. I can use a controller. That kind of hand-eye coordination is something I do have. But what they are asking is not that. I'm pretty sure what they're asking is like, am I gonna trip over nothing? Yeah, I do that all the time. I always have done that all the time. In fact, there was a story when I was young, when I was in my teenage years, I would trip going upstairs, not down, never down. I was way more careful going down because I was afraid of falling down the stairs because I knew I would trip going up the damn stairs. But I would trip going upstairs. That is a thing that happened to me. I know that's just insane, but it did. That is crazy. Anyway, others consider me odd or different. Yep, that's an easy yes. Get out of the way. I understand when friends need to be comforted. Nope. I have no fucking clue when they need to be comforted. I finally have an answer that ain't A. Holy shit. That's probably not a good thing with this question. I am very God damn it. I am very sensitive to the way my clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important to me than how they look. Kind of. Like if the clothes don't feel good, if they feel weird, I usually will wear something under them that feels okay. Like say if I have a shirt that's made out of a material that I don't really like, I'll wear like, you know, just a plain old white t-shirt underneath it. As long as you can't see that plain old white t-shirt, I'll figure something out, or I'll find something else that I can wear that still looks good, in my opinion. But I am very sensitive in how they feel. Generally is more important to me than how they look, but I'll get around how they look. I'll get around it. But the way they're asking is yeah, A is the correct answer for me. I like to copy the way certain people speak and act. It helps me appear more normal. I don't do this on purpose. I do this, but I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. Like when I'm around someone for long enough, I'll pick up some of their speaking habits, or like my laugh will change. Like the laugh I have now is not my original laugh. The laugh I have now has been molded over the last like 10 years. It's been molded by how other people laugh. absolutely the way people speak and act has influenced me, but this is not intentional. It's not that I like to do this, it just happens. I don't do it on purpose, but I think I need to answer this true now and when I was young, because I've always done this. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. Yes, it can be very intimidating to me to talk to one person, as a matter of fact. Until I get to know them, it's hard for me to be comfortable around someone else. I guess that's part of why I hardly ever do collabs. I don't seek out a collab. Like if someone asks me to do a collab, if I know them, I'm probably going to do it, but I don't invite people to do things unless it's like in a video game, and certainly not on stream. I guess that's true and false, because I invite my friends to do like roulettes and shit with me on stream, but like that's not a collab. But anyway, it absolutely is, like, especially if I'm uncomfortable with them, unless I know the people very well, it will be very intimidating for me. Now, there are some skilled people that can get around this. I'm not the person that would be that skilled person to get around it. Someone else would have to be that person for me. Like say an extrovert, a really skilled extrovert can pick up on this kind of uncomfortable feeling, and they'll do their best to make you feel comfortable. People that do that succeed with me. People that do that can make me feel comfortable. I have one friend like that IRL who is a huge extrovert. He'll talk to fucking anybody, and if he realizes that you're uncomfortable, he'll make you feel comfortable. He'll try, at least, and it worked with me. But anyway, next question. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. I don't really vibe with this. I have to act normal. Like, I don't think I have to act normal. I think that doing this will typically lead to other people being pleased and they will like me better, but I don't care. I don't care about pleasing other people and making them like me. My priority isn't making people like me, which I guess is kind of a bad thing to say as a streamer, when I should want people to like me, I guess. But it's not a priority for me. Like I don't do this. I think it is necessary. I don't do it. I don't think so. I'm gonna answer this one never true, because I don't do this. I think I should, but I don't. Maybe it's because I think I should that I should answer it this, but I just don't. Because that is me agreeing with the question. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't do it, but I think I should. Anyway, meeting new people is usually easy for me. Fuck no, it's not. That's the hardest shit ever. I get so uncomfortable. I mean, we've talked about this already from an earlier question. I get so uncomfortable around new people. I am so socially inept, I guess is the word I would use. Like I'm the kind of person that I will be quiet, especially like if I join a new Discord and people hang out in voice, like I'm invited to come hang out in voice, I typically will be fucking silent for a long time before I say anything. And like like the first week or two, I will typically only speak if I'm spoken to. Meeting new people is not easy for me. Never has been. I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I'm talking about something that I am very interested in. If they make me lose my train of thought, I get mad even. I get upset. This is absolutely true, but I can take it further. I hate when people interrupt me because it does confuse me. I can't stand it. I don't like being interrupted because I'll lose my train of thought. Like you guys have seen me do that on stream, as a matter of fact. Like I'll be talking about something and then like someone will burp at me or something, like Speedry. Someone will burp at me if I'm in it real deep in a train of thought, and then I get distracted by something. Like my train of thought gets interrupted and I'm like, wait, what was I talking about? I know y'all have seen me do that. I have caught myself doing it all the time, but that didn't distract me because it just kind of played into my train of thought. Yeah, that is definitely true, but I also get upset when it happens. It is difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. For the most part, yes. I can kind of pick up on a few things just out of practice. Some things that are very obvious, but if it's subtle, I'll never understand. I'll never notice. This is definitely true. It is difficult, not impossible. Difficult is the keyword here. I like having a conversation with several. Fuck no, I don't. For instance, around a dinner table at school. Hell no. That is not me. I mean, I guess that would be like joining a Discord call with like 5 or 7 people, huh? I guess this ties back into the whole thing that like I don't seek out collabs because like I'm afraid of it. The last time I did a collab was toward the start of when I streamed. When was Season of Discovery? Season of Discovery, wow, launch. 30 November 2023, that was a year ago. The last time I did a collab, both times were during the Season of Discovery. They were very short and they were with friends that I've known for over a decade. I've never done a collab with someone I didn't know for an extended period of time. However, like my friends do sometimes appear on my stream when I do roulettes. I have done that 2 times on someone else's stream. No, 1 time. I've done that 1 time on someone else's stream, but we're not going to talk about that. I take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. Oh my god. I'm being called out here. I'm being called out here. Yep. Say what you fucking mean when you're talking to me. It is very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. Keyword, it is difficult. Yes, I can sometimes pick up on it when it is just blatantly obvious. But if they're trying to hide their embarrassment or their jealousy, I won't notice. It is very difficult for me. That is correct. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin. Oh my god, I will jump through the roof if some textures touch my skin. I will jump through the roof. Like, I like having cold metal objects touch my skin. That is a weird thing to say. When I am hot and there is a cold metal object, I will place my forearm across that cold metal object for as much coverage as I can get. A glass window pane, I'll do it too. Like a railing, a guard railing or something, I'll do it that way. But that's an example of textures that I like. An example of textures that I don't like: uneven surfaces, like when paint is chipping off of something. If I touch a guardrail and the paint is chipping, that will make me jump. I will jump out of my skin. That is such a weird feeling to me. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. Yes, if I have a habit built up, if I have a routine, it's hard for me to get into a routine. But when I am in a routine and then that routine no longer works, it will stop me in my tracks. I may or may not get angry or upset. I'll just sit there all kinds of confused, and then I'll get pissed off because I'm confused. Okay, so yeah, this applies either way. I mean, I can't stand it. I don't like sudden changes. I like if I know about the change ahead of time, that's different. But if it's like sudden, like I'm not expecting it, like I don't know it's coming, I don't like surprises. It's kind of why, like, when I watch a movie, if I know the ending, I enjoy the movie so much better. I enjoy a story if I know how it ends when I start the story. That is so weird for me to say, and that's not what this question is asking, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. I like being spoiled on the ending, not the middle, the ending. I like knowing where we end because that takes away the anxiety from not knowing what happens, and then I get excited to find out how it happens. I care less about what happens and more about how it happens. I guess that's a scientific thing, a way to think about things. It's like like when I'm studying astrophysics things. When I first learned about a black hole, I was like, how does that work? Like my first train of thought wasn't what is a black hole. My train of thought was, how does this work? I want to know more about it. I want to understand it. Anyway, tangented enough there. Let's see, 31. Damn, there's a lot of questions. You said there's 80? I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. No, I have never wanted this is a no. I absolutely do want this. I want an intimate relationship. Whether, you know, I'm not really interested in sex, but you know, if that's part of it, that's part of it. I have trouble with this. I think, like, even if it's not like a romantic relationship, like even a relationship with a friendship, that kind of relationship included, I feel things a lot deeper than most people. I think, And I like having that level of friendship with people. I like being able to trust them. I'm very untrusting, but what they mean is clearly a romantic relationship, and I absolutely do want that, but not with just anybody. You know, it's got to be someone special, obviously. And I don't want the rug pulled right out from under me, you know, shortly after it begins. I don't want to start something that I'm uncertain if it's going to stick very long. So I am much more hesitant to go into one of these now. Anyway, this is definitely a never true. I do want this, and I've always wanted this. Even when I was younger, I wanted this. I just didn't understand it fully yet, but now it's a little more nuanced even. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I am finished. Yes and no. I can stop a conversation and I can start a conversation. I get angry when I am forced to start or stop a conversation though. I wouldn't say it's difficult. Maybe I should say it's difficult because I still would prefer to have a trigger, like someone to like kick start it, I guess, or kick stop it, I guess. Is that a phrase? Kick start and kick stop? I mean, if there's a kick start, there's got to be a kick stop, right? I need like an outside push. I guess I probably shouldn't enter this true, huh? And I hate being interrupted. I speak with a normal rhythm. Fuck no. I'll talk and then I'll pause, then think, and then I'll talk and then I'll pause and think. When I have to speak for a long period of time, I need to be able to pause and think for a little bit. Like y'all probably noticed this. I don't just like talk straight for several minutes, or even straight for like 10 or 15 seconds at a time. Like I'll stutter. The stutter is me resetting back a couple words most of the time to think about what to say next. It gives myself a second or so to think about the next few seconds. I either pause or I stutter, but I'm not stuttering because I have a stutter. I'm stuttering because my brain is lagging. My brain is a slow, powerful thinker rather than a quick thinker. I think people described Einstein that way. Someone to describe to me that I think in a similar fashion to Einstein once upon a time. And I was like, that is both a compliment that I don't think I can live up to and crazy. All right, guys, we have an ad break. We're gonna chill for a minute while the ads play. I should really probably get one of those ads-R playing things. The 126, so likely to be autistic, but also not autistic. I don't know what the number represents, but I mean, well, I guess I'll find out when I get to the end. Yeah, we're just waiting on the ad break now. It's a little hot in here, chat. Like it went from being cold as shit the last couple days to now it's actually warm. My heater on? That why it's warm? No, it's not on. It's just warm. Fuck, I hate being stopped up like this. I was talking to my aunt the other day about how I'm stopped up all the time. Oh, hey, ads are done. And like one possibility is maybe I'm allergic to my pets, but it's like such a low level allergy that it doesn't like impact my day to day. But I also don't think that's the case because like surely I would have figured that out a long time ago, right? But then yeah, I am kind of dense. Anyway, since ads are over, we can continue. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. Actually, yes, this is true. Like if you say the same word over and over again, it completely changes. And like I can sit and I can stare at a certain spot on the ceiling. Like if it's a tiled ceiling, I can stare at the same spot and those tiles will start fucking moving. I swear to God. And other times, like nothing. This is such a weird phenomenon to me, but yes, this happens. The phrase, "I've got you under my skin," makes me uncomfortable. What the fuck does this mean? Like I get it when someone says you're under like this gets under my skin or something, like they're saying they're upset, but "I've got you under my skin"? That's confusing. I don't understand this. What does this phrase mean? I've got you under my skin. It's a song. The song about a adulterous man. I don't know. I don't really think one way or the other about this. I don't like adultery. I don't know. It doesn't really mean anything to me. I guess I answer never true. Sometimes the sound of a word or a high-pitched noise can be painful to my ears. Yes, absolutely. Certain noises can trigger the fight and flight response in me. Like the way someone speaks, it's very rare that I encounter someone that speaks like that. But some people talk in the way Like certain words or phrases that they say might come out a little strange. Like when someone else does the thing when it like they whistle through their teeth when they're talking, like when they say the S sound, like I can go, and I don't know if y'all can even hear that, but if that happens and they're trying to make it happen, like they're whistling, that's one thing. But if it just kind of happens, like my brain will start focusing on it and it bothers me. And if it keeps happening, like it'll give me a headache. It's so weird. I am an understanding type of person. I try to be. It's difficult to understand, but like if I'm given the opportunity to understand, yes, I am an understanding type of person. I like to think so anyway. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. Not true. I connect with characters in movies and other fiction a lot easier than I do with real people. It's a saying for being irritated with someone. Which thing? This? Like that's a weird way to say that. Getting under someone's skin, I understand, but I've got you under my skin. I don't know. It's the way it's worded. I mean, it doesn't make me uncomfortable either way. But yeah, I connect with characters in movies and cannot feel the way they feel is absolutely a true for me. Like I have a way easier time connecting with characters in movies because like they're presented in a way to help you understand them. It's a lot easier for me to understand them. And like when someone's feeling like an intense emotion, like I'll start fucking crying. I do it all the time. Wrong way? What do you mean? Wrong way for what? I'm confused. 38? I do not. Oh, yeah. Whoops. I do connect. I overlooked the not. Never true. It is way easier for me to do this. Thanks for that catch. I misread the question. My brain censored the not in both places. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. Sure fucking can't. I'll tell you that for goddamn true, unless they're making it, I don't know, you have to make it so goddamn obvious for me to pick up on that. Some people do make it obvious. I can see in my mind in exact detail things that I am interested in. Yep, I sure can. I can imagine this very easily. I can imagine things very easily. In fact, a good example of this is I write a fucking book. You know, anyway, I keep lists of things that interest me even when they have no practical use. For example, sports statistics, train schedules, calendar dates, historical facts and dates. These are just examples. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I do remember these things. I do remember these things, and then yeah, there are other things that have no practical use to me that I just remember very easily. This is absolutely, I don't keep a list of it like other than in my brain, but yes, this is very true for me. Like I will remember something like in World of Warcraft, the Lich King fight. I remember exactly how to do that fight verbatim, and it's been almost 15 years since that fight was current. I could still walk someone through how to do it. All right, the off tank is going to pick up the ads, and if you get the disease, the plague, you need to walk over to the ads and get dispelled or you will die. And the ads need to get the dot on them from the disease, otherwise they won't die and kill the tank. Yes, I remember that very easily. It's things like that, like it's eidetic memory. I have an eidetic memory. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. Oh my God, that is true. I get overwhelmed fairly easily, usually not on stream. Sometimes I get overwhelmed on stream. Sometimes, usually I'm fine. But yes, this is absolutely true. I like to talk things over with my friends. Yes, I prefer to figure things out and not lose the friend. I have lost a lot of friends over the years because they won't talk over things. They won't talk things over. I have had a lot of things happen that they refuse to talk it out. Like whether they maybe they decide it's not worth trying to talk it out. I don't know, but I want to talk it out. Because I don't want to lose the friend, and then I don't get the opportunity to. And that's why I have abandonment issues, because I feel like they abandoned me. Some cases they did abandon me. Other cases they made it feel that way. Either way, this question made me think of things I don't want to think of. God damn it! Did my mouse die? Hello, mouse. There we go. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I am saying. True. It is technically, I cannot tell is not accurate. This should probably be very difficult. But that said, I can't really recall any cases where I could tell. I don't know, I'm oblivious as shit. Like, you got to spell it out for me. It can be very hard to read someone's face. True. Hand and body movements. Also true when they are talking. Yep. You waving your hands around, if you're not like pointing at shit, it is very hard for me to figure things out like that. Like if you're not spelling it out, like if you're doing these movements to try to spell it out, that's when it becomes easier to understand it. But if you're just kind of talking with your hands are just moving randomly around. I'm watching them. I'm not paying attention to what you're saying. I don't know what the fuck you just said. And then I'm confused. The same thing, like clothes or temperatures, can feel very different to me at different times. Yes. 70-degree temperature can feel hot or cold randomly. It is so stupid. I hate it. Like, I can be comfortable in 75-degree weather or 75-degree room temperature and not need to turn my air conditioner on. Or every now and then I might feel cold at 75 degrees. That is insane. That happens. And like clothes, like some shirts that will feel normal sometimes will not feel normal other times. It's very weird. That is absolutely true. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in social situations with others. No, but there's a caveat there. If the other person is trying to make it comfortable, it could happen. I could become comfortable with it. But in most cases, the default is I am not comfortable with social stuff. Like dating is like, to me, if it should never be in public. It can't be in public for me. It needs to be private for me to be comfortable. I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. I try. Yes, that is absolutely true. I try to be helpful. I'm usually not helpful. I'm usually not successful at this, but I try. But people don't really come to me with their personal problems. They have, and I've done my best, but they usually don't because they know that typically I can't help. Most people that know me well enough to like think that they're safe to come to me with their personal problems will know that I'm not going to be able to. And if they think I can, they still will. Damn, I have to breathe through my nose. I can't breathe through my nose at all right now. Fuck, this is uncomfortable. I've been told that I have an unusual voice. For example, flat, monotone, childish, or high-pitched. Actually, no, I haven't been told that I have any of these, but I have been told I have an unusual voice. I have a very calming voice. I don't get it. I don't understand it. My voice triggers fucking dysphoria for me, but I've been told that I have a nice voice, a nice enough voice that people feel comfortable with it. I have been told by one person that they were able to fall asleep thanks to my voice, and that just was like, how the fuck did that happen? I mean, power to them. I don't get it, but I want to call this true. The way I understand this question, I'm calling it true, chat. If y'all want to pitch in on this one, just let me know. I think I need to take some freaking medicine for my sinuses. Let me see if I can run a 3-minute ad and do a BRB real quick. If I can run an ad, that'll make it a while before we have another ad. I can. Okay, I want to do a quick BRB before we finish this, all right? So I'm going to see if I can find some kind of medication to help with this. I will be right back. Hi, chat, I'm back. I have found some medicine to take. I have some Alka-Seltzer Plus, the kind of tablets where you put in water and they dissolve and then you drink that. Real nasty shit, but it doesn't bother me because it's medicine. It's like I chug it real quick and it's over. This shit is orange. I better add just a smidge more water to that so it dissolves better. The trick is not to put it into very much water. You want to let it dissolve into a shallow puddle in a cup. Anyway, while that dissolves, let's go through a few more questions. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my mind and I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. Absolutely. I think that might be where we're at right now. This test was mentioned to me and it stuck in my head so bad that I'm like, I have to do this on stream now. Maybe that's the case. I don't know for sure, but anyway, I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things with my eyes, playing with my hair. I'm doing that right fucking now. I'm playing with my hair. I have to be doing some kind of fidgeting. This is called, by the way, this is called stimming. It is absolutely something I do all the time. And not just with my hands, with my feet too. Like I have to do some kind of movement. It doesn't matter. Like sometimes I do movement with my hands and my feet. Here's what it is. I have never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting. I have never been interested in what other people consider interesting. That's not true. I'm interested in a lot of things that other people are interested in. It's just not very many people are interested in them. This is probably leans closer to true than not true. Like the vast majority of the population, I don't share interests with. This is probably true the way that they're asking it. I am considered a compassionate type of person. Now, I don't think I'm allowed to answer this one because it's saying I am considered this. I don't know if people consider me compassionate. Chad, am I compassionate? I think I'm compassionate. My medicine is still dissolving. I think I'm compassionate. What do y'all think? I don't want to be disingenuous with this answer, but I think so. My medicine would dissolve a little faster. A certain friend of mine that might know me is well enough to answer this is online. Probably not. They should be in bed. My drink is still dissolving a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and drink it though because I'm like desperate here. Okay, medicine taken. Maybe I'll start feeling better soon. Probably gonna have to come blow my fucking brains out with a tissue. I'm talking about blowing my nose, not friend sent me the cat gif, the I just woke up gif. Well, good morning. This is probably a dangerous thing to ask somebody. I'm gonna answer this question the way I think it should be answered. I think I am considered compassionate because I try to help people. Or what they answered me. They said yes, I'd say so. All right, that's all I needed. I have an answer that agrees with me. I'm gonna press yes. That's how this works, right? I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. I don't know, I'm too stupid to do this. I think this is a case of I think I should, but I don't, which is probably a problem. I think I should do this, but I don't. I kind of do, actually. I do in real life. I don't on the internet. Yeah, this is true. It is very difficult for me to work and function in groups. Very true. I am way better at doing things on my own. Like when it's like work kind of thing. Like if it requires a group to happen, that's a different story. When I am talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. Yes, you change the subject on me out of nowhere, I might go like, huh? What happened? Or I might go like, you son of a, you know. Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises like that. Yes, oh my fucking god, like people talking too loud or vacuum cleaners, like especially when I'm not feeling well, like when I have a headache, especially, but even under normal circumstances, vacuum cleaner noises bother me to no degree. No degree? No end. I can words. I can chat and make small talk with people. Fuck no, I've never been able to do that. Small talk feels like the most pointless thing ever to me. But like you get me talking and then I won't shut up. I will yap and yap and yap as long as you get me talking about something I'm interested in. Or like you trigger something that makes me relate to what is being talked about and I can yap about it. Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself or burn my hands on the stove. I think I described this earlier like a cold surface. I really like cold surfaces because they like help cool me down, which is weird. Like even when I'm cold, it's really strange. Like burn my hand on the stove. Yeah, that fucking hurts. But there are cases like this is just an example. There are cases when things that should feel painful to me are not painful to me. Can't really think of an example right now other than like the cold surface thing. Like some people like will touch something cold and it's like a freezer burn sort of thing to them, and like it doesn't bother me. Now if it's, you know, terribly cold, that's a different story. Like when I was little, I would always make snowballs with my bare hands, never with gloves, always my bare hands. I would build snowman and then I go inside and I'd get scolded because I did it without a glove. I don't know, maybe that's not a good example. Like people say that touching cold things hurts, but I mean, I don't get it. If it's cold enough, I guess my tolerance to cold is a lot higher than most. I don't know. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it is my turn to talk or to listen. Yep. I also have a hard time telling when it is my turn to shut up. I guess that's the same thing of or to listen. Yeah, that's the same thing, right? Anyway, I am considered a loner by those who know me best. Yep, that is easily true. I usually speak in a normal tone. No, not really. I don't think so. I like things to be exactly the same day after day, and even small changes in my routines upset me. Maybe not exactly the same, but like close enough that yeah, like changes like to my plans will bother me. That is definitely true. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. Yep. I still don't know how I've made any friends. I'm surprised I have any friends. The number of friends I have, I think I can count with one hand. I am a fucking loner. I don't socialize. Why am I a streamer? Why do y'all watch me? It calms me to spin around or to rock in a chair when I'm feeling stressed. I do this specifically so much. Like when I was younger and I had a spinny chair, I would spin, but now it makes me sick. I will rock in a chair, like I will rock back and forth or side to side, or I will move around some way or another because I'm anxious, stressed. Anxiety is what triggers stress in me the most. But yes, I do this. Like even right now, I'm doing this. Hi, Dogak. I just hydrated. I'll hydrate just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Remember, chat, if you don't hydrate, you dehydrate. But yeah, I am like always doing some kind of moving. Like I'm not stressed right now, but I'm still moving. But when I'm stressed, it's way more obvious. Like if I'm at the doctor's office waiting on the doctor to come in, I'll be sitting there. If I'm not distracted on my laptop, like I'll take my laptop with me and I'll write in my book. That's both a distraction and I'm getting something done. But if I don't have anything to distract me, I am stressed in an unfamiliar situation. My anxiety is just through the roof. I will rock back and forth in that chair. I do that shit so much. What the fuck did I come back to? Hi, Arya. I'm taking an autism test. Hey, Arya, I want your answer to this too. Where the fuck is it? Damn, that was way back there. I am considered a compassionate type of person. Yes or no? Dicks? Yes. No, we're not talking about dicks. Am I compassionate? Do you think I'm compassionate? I think I'm compassionate. Depends. Yeah? Are they stupid? I mean, I try to be nice to people even when they're stupid. Like, I will give you an example. On that Snowbreak Uncensored video that I put out, people keep asking, does this work on Android? Does this work on iOS? When I literally said in the video how to do it on Android and iOS. You go to this link and it shows you how to access the file, blah, 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 blah. And like, I could be like condescending to them. I could be condescending to them. I could be mean to them, but I try to be nice to them. Okay, so next, we're on 66. You said there's 80. The phrase, he wears his heart on his sleeve, does not make sense to me. Actually, it does. That does make sense to me, only because it's been explained to me. I didn't know. True only when I was younger than 16. True only now. It did not make sense to me when I was younger. It was explained to me later. If I am in a place where there are many smells, textures to feel, noises, or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. Yes? Like weird smells will trigger it. Weird textures. Well, we've gone over that one. Strange noises, vacuum noises are one thing. Bright lights. Bright lights are terrible. This is definitely not always true. Like chat, I am revealing so much about myself with this questionnaire. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. Fuck no, I can't. You say what you mean or I'm not gonna get it. That's simple as that. I've always been that way. If you mean something else and if you say A and you mean B, I'm gonna think you meant A every time, unless you explain yourself later. Like sarcasm goes over my head a lot of the time, unless I understand what that sarcasm is already. I like to be by myself as much as I can. Yes and no. If I'm working, yes. If I'm not working, no. I get lonely, except when I'm distracted. When I have something to do, I'm fine. When I don't have something to do, I want someone to hang out with. I don't know how to answer this. I don't think this is including like cases where like you have something to do, like where you're distracted from thinking about it. I think this means like, do you want to be by yourself when you can be? Or do you want to be with someone else when you can be? I think I don't like to be by myself. Is the way to answer this. God damn it, Aria. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are on filing cards. And I pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack and finding the right one, or another unique way. Kind of. I memory associate with like videos, sounds, pictures, that kind of thing. Like I will think of a memory in some situations. That's a thing. Yes, that is absolutely a thing. I do this. Filing cards is a bad example for me specifically. That's not how I do it, but I do this kind of thing. Or another unique way is, you know, I think that's like a mental library. Yeah, this is a good way to say you have an eidetic memory. This doesn't mean that if you don't do this, it doesn't mean that you don't have one. But if you do this, it's a pretty good chance you have an eidetic memory. The same sound sometimes seems very loud or very soft, even though I know it has not changed. True! That question has already been asked and I already answered the very same way. I think it's already been asked. Anyway, I'm moving on. I'm not going to stick that one because I think I've already talked about it. Maybe it's the painkillers for this tooth, but my dumbass saw 70 and thought of the SpongeBob clip where he has mini-me's running his brain filling. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then like everything's on fire. Oh my god. And then they're like the brain cells are what's running around, right? And then like slowly the brain cells die off and there's only one in the brain and the brain is on fire. Oh god damn it. Okay, I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my family and friends. Kind of? That's a yes and a no. Usually I would say yes. Sometimes I can't be around anybody, but that's not what they're asking. When I am and want to be, I do enjoy it. I think that's a true. And like that would be the same now as when I was young. Most of the answers are true now and when I was young or never. I think there's been one that was only true at one point. 73, I can't tolerate things I dislike. Oh, certain smells, like the smell of onion, the texture of onion. Colors don't really bother me, but some sounds, they just drive me up a wall. I can't. Some things just like I can't. I need to get out whenever I smell certain things. 73, stupid people. God damn it. I don't like to be hugged or held. That is not true. I do like to be hugged or held as long as I know I can disengage at my leisure. Like if I know they will stop when I want them to stop. Like if they don't stop when I don't want them to stop, I'm gonna fucking kick them. But if they will stop when I want them to stop, it's fine. I like that. Which I think that's how they're asking this. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route or I can get very confused and upset. Yes, if I don't know the way, I try to figure out a way to know the way. Like a straight shot on an interstate will feel more familiar to me, even if I haven't driven that particular part of the interstate. It will feel more familiar to me because I've driven interstates before. Like if I'm driving around in town, like say in a big city, like for example, Dallas, Texas. I've been there. I would rather walk. That is a fucking nightmare. It's so unfamiliar. Like I need a familiar route. Like when I go walking here in town even, like I'll do the exact same route every time. The fuck, when were you in Dallas? Before you knew me. And that is saying something because you've known me since 2008. I went to Dallas in 2007 to Six Flags on the band trip. That's one time in band camp. Now I got a story for you. On the way back from that trip, we went by, like in Texarkana, we went by a little mini mall. I think it was in Texarkana. I could be wrong. It was still on the Texas side, but either way, we went by a little mini mall and I went into a technology shop with some friends and we found this alarm clock that was like 6 a.m. wake up. Like it had a schedule cycling through its display. It was like 6 a.m. wake up, 9 a.m. breakfast, 12 p.m. that's noon, lunch, 6 p.m. dinner, 9 p.m. bed, 3 a.m. butt sex. True story. True story. I got head patted when I was saying butt sex. Oh my god. But yeah, true story. That did happen. Okay. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. Yes. You spell this shit out or I'll never know. You remember that story? Yeah, I've told that before. If you don't tell me what you expect of me, I will never figure it out. Never. I like to have close friends. Yes. Absolutely true. I like to have strong bonds with people. And that's probably part of why I get very hurt when I lose a friend. Probably why I am such a scarred person now. It's because I've lost a lot of friends and I get very attached. Boy, that got dark. Anyway, people tell me that I give too much detail. Yep. That's happened a lot. Hey, Maya, can you tell me about this? Well, you see, I'm afraid to like elaborate on this because I know I'm going to be TMI if I do. I know I'm gonna be TMI if I do. Excuse me, but fuck it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, chat. Y'all know I'm trans. I am male to female trans. I get a period. I am lucky, I guess, in one regard, that I don't get the whole bleeding part, since I don't have the physical parts for that. That's kind of a nice exclusion, I suppose. But like the emotional side of it, absolutely. Every last week of the month, it's like tomorrow or the next day is when it will start. Fuck. Hell, it may have started already and I just don't realize it, because I don't really realize it when it starts. I only realize it when I start craving peanut butter or pickles. Anyway, I will get much worse than that sometimes. I have been much worse than that on stream, as a matter of fact. 79. I am often told that I ask embarrassing questions. Most people are too nice to tell me that what I just asked is an embarrassing question. But after the fact, sometimes much after the fact, I have learned that I asked an embarrassing question. This is absolutely true. I've done this forever, especially when I was young. I was less careful about what I asked when I was young, so I got hit. This was even worse when I was young. I tend to point out other people's mistakes. True. When I was young, I would point things out and like, why do you do it that way? That is not right. And now I try to understand why they do it, but I still point them out, and this does get me in trouble. It's fucking crazy. Like, oh my god, this entire test has been like just question after question of, well, yep, I'm being called out. I felt called out this entire test. I'm afraid to hit score. What's a 193? Language subtotal is 16. Social relatedness subtotal is 78. Sensory motor 57. Circumscribed interests 42. What do these scores mean? Feel like I hit you with 80 a few times. What was 80? I've hit everyone that I know with 80, and like, y'all should hit me with 80 as well. 25, you are not autistic. 50, some autistic traits, but likely not autistic, yet some autistic people score as low as 44. The minimum score at which autism is considered. 90, stronger indications of autism, although non-autistics may score as high. 130, the mean score of autistic people. Strong evidence of autism. Oh no. Oh shit. I scored a 193. 160, very strong evidence of autism. I scored a 193. Finally, higher than my score is 227, the maximum score autistic people acquired in Ritvo's seminar paper on the RADDS-R, and 240 is the maximum period. I scored a 193. Fuck. Well, I already thought I was autistic. That's just a little... My score is higher than I thought it would be. Do note that no single test is conclusive, and not every autistic person necessarily shows scores above the defined threshold on each test. If you score low on the RADDS-R, but still think you could be autistic, try taking a few other autism tests. Statements per subscales. What's all this? I don't get it. Recommended next steps. After a RADDS-R, consider taking one of the tests below. Autism Spectrum Quotient, CAT-Q, ASPE test. This is Asperger's, ASPE. Oh boy. Okay, we're not going to take another test on stream because holy shit, that took almost 2 hours. I took an hour and a half. I beat you. You scored 179. Wow. I am so autistic, it's insane. And yet, the psychiatrist that tested me, my own psychiatrist that gives me medicine, and my general doctor, the one that tested me said maybe, and the other two said no. Maybe if the guy that tested me didn't test me in his own fucking house where I was all kinds of uncomfortable and not really able to answer everything properly. Like, I also suck at taking tests when I'm under pressure. If I can take a test when I'm not under pressure, I am going to absolutely destroy that test. But that, I was so uncomfortable in that guy's house. Like, I need to get another like test done by a person that can diagnose me. But it's pretty clear because my therapist clocked me. He didn't say anything until I brought it up. When I brought it up, he was like, yeah, you're autistic for sure. Because my therapist got to know me and understand me a lot better than any of those other three, because that's his job. But yeah, when your therapist says you're autistic, you're probably autistic, even if the people that like give you the test say otherwise. Your therapist probably will know better. even if they're not licensed to tell you that. Anyway, that is a undiagnosed autist taking this test and scoring absurdly high. It's higher than I expected. I expected to be like it's somewhere in the average, but apparently the average is like 130. Yeah, I'm way above that. How about that?